Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Tylearn, and today I am bringing you guys a very short what if in comparison to my other ones. This what if is actually in Season 3's finale, so we're not going to have that much story to cover, and if this video does so well to the point to where when Season 4 rolls around for Cobra Kai, people are wanting this to come back, then I'll definitely make a part 2, because this what if is definitely going to drastically change a specific character. Obviously, you see in the title, so you know what character it is, and that's the boy Hawk. What if instead of him saving Dimitri and going back to the good side, what if he kept on going down this dark spiraling path? Instead of saving Dimitri, what if he broke his arm again? Now, with that being said, if you are a Cobra Kai fan and you want more Cobra Kai content, consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon so you're notified and updated when I upload. And, you know, YouTube tends to be kind of wonky with notifications, so that's why I suggest you hitting the bell. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive into the video. Also, shoutouts to Blue Fang. I'm going to be linking specifically his second channel because that's where he's mainly focusing his content that he's passionate about. So go subscribe to Endless Requiem / Blue Fang. I'll be leaving his channel link down in the description. Now, let's get into it. And again, Blue Fang, thanks for the new intro. Now, let's get into the video, guys.
You was on some op shit. I was cruising down a nigga block with a chopstick. Rockstar nigga. Nah, I need a rock bitch. Nah, bitches, nah, squash bitch.
So we start our scenario in the house fight. The beginning of the house fight and the way it's set up is still the same as per normal, and everyone is fighting. Changes begin to occur once Hawk dabs Kyler up and realizes that what he's doing is wrong and is now conflicting. This is where our timeline begins to change, because instead of Hawk thinking about going to the right side, he would for a second consider it, but then be reminded about what Kreese taught him and how the enemy of your enemy is your friend. And we have to understand, mainly for Hawk, the reason why he kind of left was specifically Robbie. Now, I'm not here to say that it was just Robbie that made Hawk go to the right side. Obviously, he was conflicted because of his conversations with Johnny and Miguel, and he himself was just debating on going to the other side and regretting decisions that he was making during Season 3. Hawk was already conflicted, but it was mainly because of Robbie that he went to the good side. But this time, I'm going to say Hawk is going to have a different way of thinking about it. Instead of just going to the right side and realizing that Kreese is using and manipulating him, Hawk sees this as a way to prove himself. Maybe if he can overthrow Robbie, he'll be at the top again. He can't just let Kreese pick favorites. He needs to prove himself. Even though he came up with the whole plan, Robbie decides to go and steal all of his credit. No, Hawk isn't going to let that happen. He needs to fight for what's his, and I think he and Robbie both know that they're going to have to fight for the #1 position in Cobra Kai. So this means in this timeline, instead of Hawk just realizing and seeing through Kreese's flaws, the main person that he's targeting is Robbie. He doesn't really care about leaving Cobra Kai in this timeline, because he wants to prove to everyone that he's #1 in Cobra Kai, and he's not going to let Robbie just come in and take that position away from him. Even though Robbie has beaten him in the past 2 fights that they've had, this time Hawk is going to show Robbie who's at the top of the food chain. And with that being said, this is when the 2 guys begin to jump Dimitri, and Doug would then say for Hawk to finish off Dimitri and how he's all his. Instead of swapping to the good side, he's decided that he's going to finish off Robbie and embrace more of his ruthless side even further once he's done with this house fight. Instead of seeing Hawk's face and us thinking that this is regret and him realizing that he's wrong, this is him embracing more of his merciless side. After this, Hawk would be charging in, and instead of kicking Doug and slamming that other guy and obviously working with Dimitri and turning the tides, it would be Hawk snapping Dimitri's arm once again with no mercy. The first time he did this to Dimitri, he looked like he regretted it and he thinks that he shouldn't have done it. But in this timeline, he's embracing his Cobra Kai side and is smiling, getting a jolt of joy out of just snapping Dimitri's arm. He would then kick and punch Dimitri on the ground for a little bit, and then would go on to see Kyler be defeated by Miguel. After this point, we would see Miguel and Hawk staring each other down, realizing that they're gonna have to fight each other. Miguel, trying to get Hawk to come back to the good side, would say to Hawk how he doesn't want to fight him, and really he just can't fight Hawk. Hawk would say how that's too bad as he proceeds to kick Miguel to the ground. Now, at this point, even if Miguel were to fight Hawk, he's just getting folded badly, because this Miguel is barely getting out of his crippled state and is now just using his feet to kick people now. Though I don't think Miguel would try and fight Hawk because he knows that he'll lose, and instead he's just trying to bring him back to the good side, which doesn't work for the sake of this timeline because obviously the what if is what if Hawk stayed in Cobra Kai. I'm not having Hawk stay evil and then turn good in a different scene. That's just corny. Anyways, I think Hawk and Miguel would be going at it while Tori would just swiftly lose to Sam since no one's going to come in and intervene. This means Tori is now going to have to fight Sam with no weapon when she was already losing with a weapon. So we can assume here Sam just beats Tori down. Sam would go back to the house to try and help everyone, and we see Hawk just beating Miguel down while everyone else is kind of getting dropped on their own. Sam helps out the fodder people and then eventually works her way up to Hawk, and Hawk and Sam are about to face each other down, but that is until Daniel LaRusso arrives to the house. Daniel, seeing his house destroyed, would then just be pissed off, and some of the fodder Cobra Kai kids would even try and fight Daniel, thinking that he's not going to do anything, but Daniel just drops them on their head, and Hawk isn't even going to try and fight him. Hawk storms out the house, and at that point, he would go and get Tori, and the two of them would then retreat, while Kyler would get his boys and get out the house, and he wouldn't even be one of the people who try to fight Daniel. However, Daniel would see Kyler, and Kyler would just run away. After this point, we would get Miguel going back to Carmen's house and Johnny coming back from the party, where he would then try and confess his love to Carmen, and since Daniel arrived and a lot more time has passed, we can actually have a scene with Carmen and Johnny talking. Miguel would be dropped off by Daniel LaRusso, and Carmen and Johnny are about to kiss, and at that point, Miguel would then walk through the door awkwardly, and with all these injuries, Johnny and Carmen question to him immediately what happened. We cut to the Cobra Kai dojo, and we see a car already pulled up there, and it's Daniel LaRusso's. Daniel would then immediately head inside the dojo where he would see Robbie in Cobra Kai with Kreese. He would question to Robbie what is he doing, and at that point Kreese would then say he knew that this fight was going to happen and that it was inevitable. Daniel would then get in a fighting position, and he and Kreese would then proceed to go at it, and around that time Johnny would then arrive. Before Daniel pulls out the pressure points, we are going to have Daniel and Kreese just scrapping until Johnny arrives, and at that point it is now a 2v1 where Kreese is just going to immediately get dropped right off the bat. I mean, Daniel and Johnny, they can already beat up Kreese by themselves, so imagine them just working together. Naturally, it's just going to be them stomping Kreese. However, Robbie would get Johnny off of him, and Robbie and Johnny would have their conversation and their exchange where Johnny slams him into a locker, and at that point Daniel would then rely on the pressure points against Kreese. The kids arrive, and we would get the tournament being set up like in canon. So with that being said, Season 4 is going to be saved for Part 2. If you guys want Part 2, if you guys think that this scenario could be way more interesting in Season 4, let me know down below. I'll probably either remaster it because, I mean, it's going to be a while till Season 4 comes out, or if this video just pops off, I'll just make a direct sequel to this. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'm going to be concluding my what if, and if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new and enjoy Cobra Kai content, and suggest me some Cobra Kai videos down below. Again, hit the bell icon so you're notified and updated when I upload, and YouTube notifications are already wonky in itself, so hit the bell icon so you're updated when I upload. Be sure to go follow me on Twitter, and again, shout out to Endless Requiem /Bluefang for the new intro. He's a homie for it. I really do appreciate that, bro. Stay safe and have a nice rest of the day, everybody.